Laser beams shot across the sky with pixels of every color imaginable, shimmering all over the TV screen. 25x, 50x, 100x. The points racked up. I was good. The behemoth circular alien vessel exploded, engulfing the world in flames. The humans were saved at last for level 10 at least. A gold trophy icon flashed up top. It said, 50 aliens defeated without taking damage. I was awarded a trophy and, well, bragging rights to my friends for performing a tough task. I wasn't just told that I did a good job. I was getting really good at this game because it told me what I was doing well, and I could use that knowledge in turn to progress through levels. But what a video game understands sometimes eludes parents. For example, such specific praise isn't really heard on the soccer field, with parents just yelling, "Way to go!" or "Nice job" when their child scores a goal. What's the problem, you ask? Praise improves children's performance, doesn't it? Scratch the surface and you will see that while praise can be a powerful motivator, it can, like medicine, be harmful if administered in the wrong way, and the side effects can last a lifetime. Today, let's start by examining why praise is so pervasive, then discuss the problems with misdirected praise, and finally, find some better ways to motivate kids and boost their self-esteem. So, what does praise even mean? According to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, praise is a verbal reward given with the intention of encouraging kids to continue to engage in positive behaviors, which in turn produce positive outcomes. But empty or misdirected praise doesn't really fit the definition. The terms good boy and good girl have been used since at least the mid-1800s. But the idea of using praise to motivate children really took off after the publication of The Psychology of Self-Esteem in 1969, which suggested that many of the problems in American society resulted from a lack of self-esteem. Incredible! Super! That's great! You're so smart. These have become reflex statements from parents, teachers, and coaches alike, even if kids haven't done anything worthy of it. There's a lot of peer pressure on parents, you know? If other parents are lavishing their kids with compliments, parents don't want their kids to feel that they aren't as valued, so they get sucked into it. According to a study conducted by Columbia University, 85% of American parents feel that it is important to tell their kids that they're smart. This type of constant praise is meant to be an angel on the shoulder, ensuring that kids don't sell their talents short. You're making it harder for us kids to deal with life. Everyone should receive a trophy. In today's society, kids don't lose in school competitions. They're the last winners. The Denver Broncos should have won the Vince Lombardi Trophy, right? I mean, they only performed dismally. Now that we know why praise is so pervasive, let's start to discuss the problems with misdirected and empty praise. Beginning in the 1990s, researchers began finding that too much praise, or praise for the wrong reason, can be detrimental. Eddie Broman, a researcher at the Utrecht University in the Netherlands, stated that this type of personal praise for personal qualities may backfire. What may seem like common sense can drive adults astray in their attempts to help kids with low self-esteem feel better about themselves. The research has also shown that how you praise your children has a powerful influence on their development. Columbia University researcher Claudia Mueller and Stanford psychology professor Carol Dweck found that children who were praised for their intelligence, as compared to their effort, became overly focused on results. Following a failure, these same children persisted less and showed less enjoyment. They attributed their failure to a lack of their ability, which they believed that they could not change, and performed very poorly in future achievement efforts. In her influential research on the negative effects of unending praise, Dweck says that children who praise for their intelligence became discouraged to take risks because they began to equate failure with stupidity. Now do you see how praising kids' talent and ability makes them wilt when they have setbacks? I am smart, the kid's reasoning goes. I don't need to put out effort. Star basketball player and hard worker Kevin Durant states that hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard. Expending effort becomes stigmatized. It's public proof that you can't cut it on your natural gifts. You're making it harder for us kids to deal with life. Trying to convince children of their competence will likely fail because life has a way of telling them unequivocally how capable or incapable they really are through something I'm sure we've all experienced: success and failure. Psychologists and psychiatrists are seeing more and more young people having cases of quarter-life crises and more cases of clinical depression. The reason? Parents are raising a generation of kids whose brains are wired with the constant need for external approval rather than internal motivation. Likes on Facebook, followers on Instagram. The list could go on for 2 days. Now let's look at how we can effectively use targeted praise to get kids to the next level. The reality is that we children don't need to be praised emptily when you have done something well. Allow us to decide for ourselves how we feel about our efforts and accomplishments. Praise us for our efforts. This kind of praise sounds like, "You were so focused during the entire chess match," or "You worked really hard to prepare for this test." That gives us kids the control in our hands. We can replicate this behavior with ease in the future to get the same positive outcome. When a parent praises the process, it keeps the child engaged, Dweck says. We learn to become motivated and don't become praise junkies, dependent on you for how we feel about our efforts and accomplishments. Please allow us to fail while we are young, so we know how to hit a home run, even if life throws us a bad pitch when we are young adults. One of Dweck's suggestions, which my family follows, is that the conversation at the dinner table should focus, at least in part, on the hardest things that the children had to overcome that day. That gives us kids the notion that learning new things can be hard, requiring grit and perseverance. This idea has helped my sister and I keep at it all the time and never give up in any ordeal we undertake. We can break through all our problems and get to the solution. Here is my challenge to you. The next time you're tempted to dole out a lazy, "Good job," think of its long-term implications and replace it with sincere and specific praise. On that note, here's some specific praise for you. I think you all made a great effort to listen today.
Okay, that was ArnavTolat022214.